This week on Berkshire News Now, we speak with Adams Town Administrator Tony Mazzucco about regionalization in the Berkshires and what that means. And BNN's Kirby Bryce heads down to the Eagle Street Beach Party to get in on the fun. That's coming up next on Berkshire News Now.
Welcome to the July 18th episode of Berkshire News Now. I'm Samantha Kniskern. Our main story today focuses on regionalization in the Northern Berkshires, a hot-button issue at the moment. We reached out to North Adams Mayor Richard Alcombright and Adams Town Administrator Tony Mazzucco to get their takes on what regionalization means for the Berkshires.
All over the Berkshires, communities are seeing a population that seems to only decrease every year. Over time, these declines have had substantial effects on everything from police and EMS resources to schools. Just this past year, Hoosick Valley High School saw their smallest graduating class yet, with just 63 students, and Cheshire's elementary school was voted to shut down. With more talk of regionalization in the area, people are looking for answers. Mayor of North Adams, Richard Alcombright, talked about how population decline affects the community, noting schools as what he believes to be one of the largest financial crises in the area.
What I think is the next largest fiscal crisis for communities in Berkshire County are schools. Population decline here has been a problem since I believe the 40s. If you look statistically back when we had 21 or 22,000 people, that number has come down every single year virtually since the 40s, I believe.
Adams Town Administrator Tony Mazzucco also touched upon the subject, focusing on family size as one of the factors for the decline.
There's a lot to it. One of them is every rural county, or most rural counties in the country, are seeing a population decline. So folks are leaving the farm, so to speak, and moving to the cities, but that's been going on for 50 or 60 years. In Adams, our population decline actually began in the late 60s, and it was the same in many other rural communities. But family size and family demographics have changed as well, and that's something that also contributes to it. 40 years ago, it was not uncommon to have 5 or 6 kids in a family. So if 2 or 3 of them sort of left home and went to the cities or went to the coast, it wasn't a big deal. You still had a few of them staying here and settling here. Nowadays, families with 5 or 6 kids are very rare. We also have an older population, not just in Adams, but in Berkshire County as a whole.
Mazzucco continued, talking about the Berkshire County Education Task Force and how restructuring education could help.
So the biggest thing going on right now countywide is the Berkshire County Education Task Force. So there's actually representation on the task force from North County, Central County, and South County. And they're sort of in the mid to late stages of coming up with a series of recommendations and doing some different modelings about how we can restructure education as a whole in Berkshire County. We have, I think, more than 10 different school districts in Berkshire County, and we're geographically fairly large, but far too many school districts and school buildings. So once the task force recommendations come out, I think you're going to see a movement to see how some of those can be implemented. If you were to build an education system in Berkshire County today, you wouldn't build it anyway the way it's currently structured.
A step-by-step guide on how to create and run a regional school outlines the processes that need to take place. The ordeal is lengthy and requires that a signed agreement and certified votes be submitted to the Department of Education for approval from the Commissioner. Mazzucco followed by suggesting that Adams and North Adams figure out a way to bring the two communities together.
Things that they can do, and in particular for us, I think the next logical step is sitting down with North Adams community to community and looking at how we can bring those two school districts together.
Alcombright seconded having the two communities work together, citing special education needs as something that is already underway.
We're working with the town of Adams on collaborative efforts in our schools, mostly right now around special education needs. So we're looking at that a little bit, and there's a very big effort countywide about school regionalization. We need jobs up here. We need good paying jobs to bring people in. Our real estate is affordable. Our taxes are affordable. I think we're an affordable place to live. I think we'll, at some level, grow out of it. But again, you may want to say, is 13,000 people or 14,000 people where North Adams needs to be?
Mazzucco went on, talking about the undercapacity of student-to-school ratio, stating that the communities are spending tens of thousands of dollars, even though the population continues to decline.
We still have an overcapacity concern in the Adams Cheshire District. We have capacity for maybe 1,400 students or 1,500 students, and we don't have that many. So that's also an issue to look at, is we have more school space in Berkshire County than we do, than we need. One of the other problems with that is we're still building new schools in Berkshire County. Adams Cheshire recently completed a renovation at Hoosick Valley High several years ago, and the building was older, it was needed. Greylock's building a new high school. Pittsfield is building a new VOTEC school. Down in Central County, in the central part of the county, I know Dalton and their regional school district are looking at the potential of a new high school, and sometimes these facilities are needed, but we're investing as a county tens of millions of dollars of our money and state money in new facilities while we're continuing to see that drop in population. Part of our overall economic development prospect, we're looking at bringing more tourism in. We're reaching out in different areas to try to bring businesses in because people follow the jobs in any given area. We need some of the universities in the area, particularly MCLA or state colleges, how we're going to phrase them, to really figure out how they can grow their student population and grow the programs that will attract not only students from the outside, more students from the outside, but will attract these businesses as well that say, hey, we want to be there because we need X number of graduates throughout the every year just to fill our working roles, and that's not simple.
The population decline and the school crisis are linked, and both need to be addressed in order to fix the other. With state and local elections coming up, community members have a chance to elect someone who they believe will help not only the population decline, but the school crisis as well.
As a symbolic gesture, C.T. Plunkett in Adams has just been renamed Hoosick Valley Elementary School. BNN will continue to follow regionalization in the area as the story continues. Saturday, July 8th, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren held a town hall meeting at Berkshire Community College in Pittsfield. BNN wasn't able to get inside for the meeting due to overcrowding, but we were able to catch Warren outside before she went into the meeting. State Senator Adam Hines moderated a Q&A in which Warren answered about a dozen questions ranging from Syria to healthcare.
As tough as it is, as hard as it is, we still live in a democracy. And when the voices of the people are heard, then the voices of the people will control the actions in Washington. It's a hard fight, but it's a fight worth fighting. It's the one we have to be in. So thank you.
At least 5 people have announced their candidacies for either state rep, mayor, or city council in North Adams as the election season starts to heat up. We contacted a few candidates to see if they'd like to appear on our show. Stephanie Bosley, who recently announced she would be running for state rep, agreed to talk with us next episode. Bosley, who is running for the 1st Berkshire District, is the daughter of Representative Daniel Bosley, who held the seat before Gail Ann Kirby. You can learn more about her candidacy at bosleyforstaterep.com. North Adams City Councilor Lisa Blackmer also announced that she would be running for state rep. Blackmer has been a city councilor for the past 10 years, 2 of which she served as president. City Councilor Ronald Boucher has jumped into the race for North Adams mayor along with Thomas Bernard. Boucher, who ran unsuccessfully against Richard Alcombright in 2011, is campaigning with a focus on maintaining public services while keeping taxes reasonable. North Adams City Councilor Kate Merrigan has announced that she will not seek re-election this fall. Merrigan alluded to personal reasons for not running again, but says that her leave from politics is not permanent, saying that it is, quote, more of a pause than a goodbye. By making her announcement now, she hoped it would encourage others to run for city council, which it certainly did. All 9 large seats are up for grabs in the November 7th election for city council, and already a few have announced they are running. Rebecca Cohen, a North Adams native, has submitted a letter of intent to temporarily succeed Nancy Bullitt, who resigned effective July 1st in order to fill in for the remaining 6 months of Bullitt's term. Cohen will also campaign for the full 2-year position. Former Councilor Wayne Wilkinson also declared that he would be in the running for both Bullitt's immediate temporary replacement as well as for the full 2-year term after he was ousted in 2015 when he finished in 10th by 51 votes. BNN will continue to report candidacy announcements as they happen. The highly anticipated annual beach party came to North Adams once again, and this time BNN's Kirby Bryce was there to check it out. Kirby?
Thanks, Sam. I'm standing outside the 19th Annual Eagle Street Beach Party. The 19th Annual Eagle Street Beach Party drew in a crowd large enough to fill the entire road. Children and their families spent the day basking in the sun and cooling off in the kiddie pools. It wasn't just for the children, though, as adults like Sakaya Johnson also attended, so they, too, could get in the fun.
It's great. There's a lot of families. It looks like a lot of fun. Plus, it's sand in North Adams on the street, so it's tons of fun.
Brody Torres, a third-year veteran of the beach party, shared his excitement at seeing the community coming together for good food, fun, and drink.
Well, it's just awesome seeing the whole community out and about, you know, enjoying music and food and drink.
Others came to the annual party for the first time on Saturday, like Sam Payne, who thought that the beach party was a good alternative to going to local lakes.
Fish Pond, I know the water isn't all too great, and they've got a few little pools here, which is really nice, and the sand is clean. They all look like they're having fun. I think they were.
Torres continued to talk about the overnight transformation of Eagle Street and how exciting it must be for the kids.
For the kids, I feel like it's great because it's like they probably come down here often, and to see it like transformed with like all the sand decorations, it's a good time.
Johnson followed by sharing how the party was a fun way for people to experience the beach without having to drive 3 hours away.
I think it's a wonderful experience, especially like living in Western Massachusetts. You can't really get to water as easily. So I think this is a great experience, and it's a fun time where they can see their friends and just be running around screaming in sand.
Even when it started to rain, people didn't let that ruin the fun. At 6:30, the children's playtime portion of the event came to an end. At 7 p.m., the adults lined up to drink margaritas and dance to live music, all while the rain came down. The Eagle Street Beach Party is a great chance for kids to enjoy playing in the sand. I'm Kirby Bryce for Berkshire News Now.
Thanks, Kirby. I'm looking forward to getting some sand between my toes next year. Hikers found a body Monday the 17th on Mount Greylock, but authorities say the death is not considered suspicious. According to the Berkshire District Attorney's Office, the body was that of 54-year-old Kurt Kruger of Great Barrington. An autopsy is scheduled to determine the cause of death. On July 27th, Downstreet Art is hosting 2017's second Downstreet Art Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m., featuring Thread Ensemble from Boston. More information can be found at their Facebook page. That same night, there will also be another Movie Under the Stars, this time a showing of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory at Colgrove Park at 8:30. On July 30th, come down to Joel Wolfe Field for the All-Star Baseball Game and Scouting event. It starts at 9:30 a.m. with the Talent Showcase warm-up and runs through a pregame ceremony at 5:10 p.m. The Dancing in the Street Festival with Pop Cares came to Main Street in North Adams on July 9th. This year, $7,552 were raised, which is over $1,000 more than last year. The funds benefit local families battling cancer. And that is it for this week. If you'd like to stay updated with BNN, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. If you have any story ideas, email them to bnn.nbctc@gmail.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.